All right, we're gonna see if who's going live. If I'm going live. Let's see. Almost. Come on. All right. Hello, everyone. So, this shouldn't be that controversial, but I do think we need to clarify some words that we hear in the prosthetic and orthotic industry. And that is confusion around when to use the word prosthetic, when to use the word orthotic, when to use the word prosthesis, orthosis, orthoses, prostheses. There's so many words that uh, are in our field. And if you use them not in the correct way, it makes it seem like you're not really in the field. So this is super important for people that are actually trying to sell into our field, vendors and such. You want to make sure that you get the right words up front. And if you do, you get points pretty much automatically for doing that. So this is where we're going to go. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller. And we're going to go ahead and take a look here. So a prosthetic is an adjective. So, and so one of the biggest mistakes people make is using it as a noun. So, hey, I'm going to go get your prosthetic, or what kind of prosthetic are you wearing? That is not the correct way to use the terminology. A prosthetic is an adjective. So could say, hey, prosthetic limb, prosthetic device, prosthetic cover, but never as a noun, prosthetic. So that's a real important one. And then I would say the next one that is used way too often, that is really not right, is orthotic. So there is no such thing as an orthotic noun. So it's always an orthotic device, um, but it's used as an adjective. So orthotic padding, orthotic field, things of that nature. So there's a lot of people that will say foot orthotics, and that is actually not correct. So for those that are doing contract manufacturing or central fabbing or whatever, foot orthotic is not correct. And we'll get into what is correct here shortly. So if you're selling into the field, so let's say, hey, I want to get into 3D printing and I want to sell into the O&P field, and you come and say, hey, I want to sell you a 3D printer or a carver to do orthotics, I'm going to shut down pretty quick because you haven't taken the time to speak the lingo. Even though you're a nice person and all that stuff, and you may have an amazing product. But if you come in and say, hey, I know foot orthoses are a problem in the O&P space. There's not a lot of money. Insurance is a pain. Medicare doesn't cover them. But here's what we can do. I have a 3D printer that can print a pair of foot orthoses in 2 hours for this cost. You have gotten major brownie points. And the only thing that you've done is you've went from saying orthotics to orthoses, but I'm going to listen to you. So that's really important, I think. And so let's get into what the right way to say it. So for a prosthetic device, you can actually use the word prosthesis. Now, prosthesis is a singular word. So you can say, hey, I'm going to go get your prosthesis from the lab and we'll go put it on. Or can you put your prosthesis on? or what kind of prosthesis are you wearing? Um, that is really important. So prosthesis is a noun. So upper extremity prostheses, lower extremity prostheses, not prosthetic. So prosthesis. And then the same thing with orthosis. So foot orthosis is, or an orthosis in general, scoliosis orthosis, is a noun and it's singular. Orthoses is plural, just like prostheses would be plural. So the correct way to say the things that go into your shoe, foot inserts, would be, hey, look at these new foot orthoses that we're doing, or we're 3D printing foot orthoses, or we're carving the blanks for foot orthoses. All that is the right way to do, and you get major brownie points for doing that. So, um, so that's a lot of words. I hope that helps you when it comes to um, talking about or talking in the prosthetic and orthotic field. And sometimes we trip up. Okay, this is kind of a fun, video series. But I think it's important that we all start speaking the language in the way that it's supposed to be and not using prosthetic and orthotic as nouns because they're not, they're adjectives, and using the right vocabulary and get us all on the same page. And then we rise together. So, hey, thanks for watching. I hope that's helpful, maybe a little bit entertaining, and we'll catch you on the next one.